perfect end to a perfect day. Manchester City 4, Manchester United 1. Oh, what a hit! Oh, that's electrifying!
Hat-trick hunting, trick getting. Still the appetite is there for more. Oh, it is sensational!
Sit there, please. Take your inhaler. Put it there and put my mask. You see that? And then we breathe in. Hey, he's gonna bring inhalers. He's bringing inhalers, bro. And then our players are gonna be running, bro. You know, we say we don't track back, guys. You will see Madrid's track back. Our players will have inhalers in half time.
I need that. We need that.
That crooks me up, man. That crooks me up. Good evening, everyone.
We needed those inhalers at the Bernabeu.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. When we signed the Pep Linders, because that's why I would say be running a lot. No, anyway, good evening, everyone. Big up, everyone, in the chat. Welcome back to True City Fan TV. Welcome back for another show. Basically, we were planning to do this yesterday, but the channel had something else planned already, which was the preview for West Ham game. So we thought it's best to push back to Friday evening, considering like lots of people would be free on a Friday. So tonight's show is just basically we're just gonna go out, do a bit of reaction on Wednesday night's performance. Just talk about what went wrong, and there'll be a few more people coming up, and in the panel, Luke is coming, Nathaniel's coming, and Hamza will also join us. Big up Alf. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. I forgot to put the link in the description, but I'll do it later.
Yeah.
How are you, man? You good?
Yeah, I told you behind stage. That's a loaded question because, hey, life's going good, but Man City ain't. And I'm chilling, but you know what?
Sorry there, 1 second. Before you, sorry to interrupt you. Make sure, you like and subscribe as well. And make sure you leave your comment, your opinion on the game against Real Madrid in the comments below. We're gonna try to read as many comments as we can. Go on.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I think of the lineup, it was a ridiculous lineup to pull up with. And I think it was blatantly disrespectful, not going to lie. That was a disrespectful lineup, a big up Rosa. We need to fix up tactically. I think when you look at the players, I see people complaining about Doku yesterday, and today people are still talking about it. And then you have other people defending Doku. I think Doku has had a problem for most of his time here, and this season he has had moments where he was able to get that final ball. Now he's just back from injury, and you play him out wide at the Bernabeu when his good games have come inside. I can't blame Doku for that. Doku has still had good moments. Doku put that ball to the far post. I wondered why is no one at that far post. That has to come from the manager because we used to always have someone on the far post. Then you look at Haaland, how bad his scoring form has been over the last whatever while. I don't know the exact amount of games, but terrible scoring form. But okay, he needs to do better, but where's the chance creation, where's the structure for him? Semenyo, why is he playing in the 10? He's never played that in his career. Now he's at the Bernabeu, and he's in the 10. And it's it's exasperating. People complaining about Bernardo Silva. What is Bernardo Silva going to be doing in this game where you've got a 10 who's never played as 10 at the Bernabeu? Bernardo Silva's strength is he gets the ball and he gives the ball to the person who needs the ball to do something. You know, you have players, yeah? They need the ball or they're useless. And you have players who are able to get the ball and bring the ball to who they need. Bernardo Silva is the player who gets the guy who needs the ball. What's he going to do when that guy is not on the pitch? He's not going to do anything because he's going to give you the ball, and what are you going to do with it? Nothing, because the right players aren't on the pitch. You look at Savio, I mean, there's no way that we should be playing with two wingers who are just back from injury, who have got like 1 goal all season between them at the Bernabeu. You can go through the entire team like that. I cannot blame players for this. You cannot blame a player just back from injury for being put in the lineup. You cannot blame Ruben Diaz for being told play in a high line when we know Ruben Diaz cannot play in a high line too well. When you've got pace there, it can work, but there was no pace there, so that as an argument just doesn't work. You can't blame players. You can blame players for individual mistakes. You can blame them for performances. But I think over the last while now, we've been playing in a broken system. And everyone suffered for it. You sometimes have one player stepping up above the rest. I think in the first half at the Bernabeu, that was Doku. In the second half, I think Real Madrid got everything they wanted to that second half. I see a lot of people say we did better in the second half. We had the ball, but they controlled the game. You don't need to have the ball to control the game. So,
well, the thing is, he was asked why he changed the teams and the tactics. His answer was, I start Savio or Savinho because he asked, "Oh, did you see how he played against Newcastle? He was really good, right? Yeah. That's why I started him." And then he said, "I start O'Reilly at left back because O'Reilly has been playing left back in the first half of the season." Right. I've got two problems with that statement. The first one is with Savio, right? So you start in a player based on the performance against Newcastle, right? Okay, so Mamouche scored 2 goals. Why did he not start? Nico Gonzalez played really well against Newcastle. He put a man in match performance. Why did he not start? Kusanov he played really well centre half. Why did he not start centre back? Who else was in there against Newcastle? Was O'Reilly in midfield? Nico G. Someone else was there. Was it Foden? Cherky. I think it was Cherky.
Yeah, it was Cherky.
Yeah, Cherky played really well against Newcastle. Why did you not start Cherky, but you prefer to start Bernardo? So there's a bearing in like this. He's contradicting himself in his argument that I start one player because he played well against a previous team, but there were also 5 or 6 other players that played well, but you did not start in them. And the second one is with Nico O'Reilly, right? Nico O'Reilly was playing as a left back because you had injury from your left back got injured against Tottenham at home, second game of the season. Tottenham at home, he got injured. I think it was in the 15th minute, and you put Nick O'Reilly in there. Nick O'Reilly has done a brilliant job at left back when when the Aït-Nouri wasn't available. So Aït-Nouri came back. You continue to play Nick O'Reilly for a period of time until Aït-Nouri went to AFCON. When Aït-Nouri came back from the AFCON, right, you decide to play Aït-Nouri as a left back and you put Nick O'Reilly as a right back, and you see the difference that they made. Nick O'Reilly was helping the midfield in terms of the physicality, and then your left back was going up and down the pitch, putting some decent crosses, even going 1v1 with the keeper a couple of times where he was his decision making wasn't the best. There was moments there where he could have passed instead of shooting, where there was moment there where we hit. He could have had a shot instead of passing. However, he was playing well. The defense was fine. Nico Riley, last time Nico Riley played left back, it was Chelsea, it was Brighton at home. That was in January. We are in March. Nico Riley has not been playing as a left back for a month and a half. So your argument to say that he's been playing there, that's why I played him, and Savio started because he played well against Newcastle, it doesn't make any sense. Because if that was the case, you would start 7 or 8 players that played against Newcastle, because there were 7 or 8 players that actually put a performance.
Why didn't Gonzalez start?
Exactly.
Because it's about who played well, right? And I mean, with O'Reilly,
it doesn't make it. I'll be sorry. I'll
go on.
Because when Marmoush came back, was against Wolves, he scored a goal. The very next game, he was on the bench. You never turn up in a press conference and said, "Oh, Marmoush played well against Wolves, so I'm going to start him again." But the very next game, you benched him.
He played well against Newcastle 3 times this season.
Yeah. So, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
He does. He's contradicting himself, and he sat in a press conference yesterday, and he said, "I choose the players for the benefit of the team." Well, that's not true. You've openly admitted 3 weeks ago that the reason why you play Bernardo Silva every game is because you sleep better knowing that you're going to be playing Bernardo Silva. He said that in the press conference, "I sleep better when I know I'm playing Bernardo Silva, so I need to look after my health." That was his quote in the press conference. And he said, "I love the guy, that's why I play him, because I need to look after myself. I'm happy when Bernardo Silva is playing." So fast forward 3 weeks after, you saying that I choose the player for the benefit of the team. Well, you contradicting yourself 3 weeks ago. What is it? Because what it's looking right now is that we all know he's got his favorite: Diaz, Bernardo, Rodri, Savio, Haaland. These are his favorite. The rest of them, they battle for every other position. Do you know what I mean? I get it.
And
the manager has. I get it because he's a manager, but at the same time, don't come out and say a lot of crap and expect us to just swallow it. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's triply unfair the way that it's currently going. Because first of all, the favorites start no matter if they deserve it or not. Haaland starts if he's shit or if he's good. Rodri starts if he's shit or if he's good. Bernardo, Diaz, I would add Donnarumma to that. He's probably your favorite too. They start. It's period. There's nothing else to say. That's not fair. Then you big up Calc for coming. Then you have also the unfair element of now Haaland is never gonna get a game where he's gonna have the players behind him that he needs because the favorites start. And the favorites are never gonna get the fluid system up top because Haaland starts. So you have those favorites in midfield and the favorites up top, but they don't want to play with each other. Like they want to play with each other, but they don't work best with each other. So it's not even fair on the favorites because they're forced to play in ways that is not favorable to them. Because Haaland, one of the favorites, is different in style from Rodri and Bernardo Silva, and they're different from Donnarumma and Diaz. And it doesn't. You just guarantee all of them to start, no matter how bored they are.
But it's not right, is it, Alfie? Because at the same time, if Marmoush has a bad game, he's on the bench in the next game. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if
He's
he's
on the
And
bench when he has a
that's
good
the
game. What
fine
are you
line.
talking about?
If Cherky has a bad game, he's on the bench the game before. If Dia has a bad game, he's starting the next game. If Roger has a bad
And that's
game,
what I
he's
was getting.
So
So
there is no clear message to the whole squad because you as a footballer, imagine we three, we playing the same team. Yeah. If I see you having a bad game and the manager is starting you in the next game, and I have a bad game and the manager is benching me, I'm gonna start asking questions. Well, hold on a minute. He also had a bad game. Why is he starting? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't
because
make any sense.
and that it is because they're the favorites, and that's why I said it's triply unfair. And that third factor that I was coming to is for the older players who are not the favorites, they get shafted. Like people don't want to say it as it is, but they get shafted, and that is the biggest injustice I'd say at Man City right now. If you are the best player, or if you're the worst, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is are you the favorite or are you not?
Yeah, because Alfie, we playing West Ham next on the weekend, right? On Saturday, right? So Bernardo Silva dropped the stinker. He dropped the stinker against Forest, right? I'm expecting Foden to start, not Bernardo. But will Foden start ahead of Bernardo?
You're funny.
I mean, I'd
Because-
start Tijani.
do you know what
I
I mean?
think he's deserved it more. I think he's, but I get you the point. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no,
Bernardo
the
will
point
start.
is, the point is, Foden has been dropping stinker and he's on the bench, rightly so. Bernardo just dropped 3 back-to-back stinkers. Right. It's now time as a manager, right? Bernardo, you're not being playing well. You're on the bench. Foden, I'm going to give you a chance in the starting 11. Show me what you can do. Because at this right moment in time, if you're Phil Foden, you sat there, hold on a minute. I know he's the captain, but he's been dog shit for the past few games. Why is he starting?
Yeah, what I always say, about that, oh, he's the captain thing, is remember when Wayne Rooney was captain for Man United and he started like one game in the entire second half of the season? But like, just because they're your captain doesn't mean they need to start. I think he needs to be on the bench. I'm gonna be honest.
Big up, Kel. Thanks for coming in. We just said having a quick chat, just basically having a quick reaction from Wednesday night game. What do you make of the game? Team selection? Is it the players? Is it the manager? Some people may argue that is everyone needs to share the blame because at the end of the day, the players still need to go out there and put an effort to win the game. But other people just seems to the manager fucked it up. He messed it up because at the end of the day, we had all the attackers on the pitch and we still failed to score a goal, or even make Donnarumma, Courtois making saves. We didn't. So, what's your opinion on the game?
Well, first off, I'm going to disagree that we had all of our attackers on the pitch because Bernardo is never going to score a goal. Doku doesn't score goals. Savinho doesn't score goals. That means the entire attack plan is to get the ball to Erling Haaland. Also, Rodri's probably not going to score, but I generally don't expect a DM to score. I mean, it's great when he does, but that they're just kind of figure he's not going to score anyway. But yeah, and we also had no creators to get the ball to them because I guess Doku was the whole game plan was Doku because I don't think Savinho has shown this season that he's really creating a lot of chances for others. Maybe one game, but he just came back, and I don't understand why he's in the starting 11 until you go to Alfie's quick argument that I just heard he's one of the favorites.
Yeah,
despite having one Premier League goal in 18 months, he's one of the favorites. But I mean, I like Savinho, but this was just a mistake to start him. I still think the guy has a lot of potential, but he's not in form right now to just automatically go on the Bernabeu. One game is never going to convince me of that. Semenyo as the 10 with that first touch. What predictably happened? He kept losing the ball because he has a poor first touch. And lo and behold, there's nobody behind him to clean the ball up, and we just got countered on. And poor Rodri, who is, a year, he's been back for less than a year from an ACL, and has multiple setbacks. Pep Guardiola decides to abandon him alone in the midfield. I don't know if Bernardo Silva is. I don't know what his role is in this game, because I don't know if he's supposed to be there supporting Rodri, and we have two 30-plus-year-olds in the midfield against, Camavinga, or not Camavinga didn't start, Tushimani and Valverde and Arda Güler and what's his name, Brahim Diaz. The two of them are supposed to handle that on the counter, but Bernardo is nowhere to be found. He was up in the front doing nothing because he wasn't contributing to the attack. I don't know what he was supposed to be doing in the game, because he didn't help Rodri at all, and he didn't contribute anything to the attack. So I'm thinking of two players on that bench that could have filled one of those roles. Nico Gonzalez could have been parked next to Rodri to defend, and Ryan Cherky could have been on the pitch to create chances. So I'm very confused at that lineup, because there's no symmetry to it whatsoever. I guess the game was, Doku and Inshallah, but that worked for 10 minutes, and then they just immediately triple teamed him, and Doku does what Doku does. It's chaos. He's still not good enough to be relied upon in the final third, in my opinion. He'll have flashes of it, but he's not there yet, and it didn't work. Semenyo in the 10 is the real head scratcher. Both of those wingers with no overlapping fullbacks, I don't know how they were supposed to get or keep the ball, because when Doku got triple teamed, he'd mostly just turn it over because there was nobody supporting him. It was Rodri literally by himself with no fullbacks anywhere near him. Like, it was just a total mess. I don't know what the thought. I don't know. I don't know how that lineup even works. I don't know if I just question it.
Do you know when he said in the press conference that, "Oh, I done what I did for the benefit of the team," and he was saying O'Reilly has played in the left back position this season a lot, and Savio played well against Newcastle. That's why he started. All it took was one game for Savio. All it took, was one game for Savio to start in a knockout stage of the Champions League. But the following question, that's why I hate these journalists, because they scared to asking tough questions to managers. Right. You explain Savio and O'Reilly positioning. When have you ever seen Antoine Semenyo playing the 10?
So someone's trying to tell me he's been doing it since he got to the club, but I don't see that at all.
Really?
Maybe somebody more technically competent can explain that to me. I'm like, I've never seen him as the 10.
Career mode. In my career mode. That's where I play him.
I mean, also, Teal, Mbappe's been injured for a long time, Teal. Even if he plays, he's not going to
can. That's what I do.
So basically, benching one of our best players this season, probably arguably the player of the season, your best right back in a big game, to play a centre half, a right back, is for the benefit of the team. Is that what he's actually telling me?
Remember, he did that last year in the FA Cup final too.
No,
he dropped him for Akanji, who just came back from surgery.
Annoys me the most, I would actually appreciate it if he came out and say, "Sorry, I got it wrong," rather than just trying to justify things.
He has too big of an ego for that. He's got a massive ego. He cannot admit he's wrong, bro.
He's done that in the past.
No. He's done it in the past when things go well. When things go well, it's easy to say, I fucked up. Or when you have one bad I've got one bad But when your entire personality is built around being the best, which it is with Pep Guardiola, go watch some of Pep's speeches. He always bigs himself up. He always tells people how great he is. When he wins titles and he does interviews, he tells people, "Oh yeah, now you see how genius I am." His entire personality is built around being the best.
The thing
so
is,
you can say when something goes.
The problem is, even when O'Reilly was playing left back, he wasn't even playing inverted left back.
No,
Yeah, I
but
thought maybe he would do the 3-2, like the whole like the treble defense, like maybe do a 3-2 and have like 3 center backs at the back, and then just O'Reilly goes and
Yeah,
sticks to Rodri, and
but the
he was
thing
just
is,
way
the
up the
thing
pitch,
is,
and it was
O'Reilly
what it
was way up the pitch. Even Bernardo was playing as some sort of number 10. He was far
and
off
that's
from
why we didn't
Rodri.
score any goals because Bernardo Silva in the year 2026 ain't gonna create chances. Sorry.
And I'm looking at the whole see that picture where Doku has the ball and there's 3 players, and there was literally no one around Doku to support him. And I'm looking at what's the tactics in there. It baffles me, but big old look, yeah. Thanks for coming on, bro. Hope you're well.
bro. All good, yeah, I'm a good man. I'm fine. Perfectly
Yeah.
fine. All good.
Yeah. So basically, we were planning to have the show yesterday, but it got pushed back because there was another show planned, which was the West Ham preview. So I thought,
Everybody watch the replay of that, please.
Yeah,
It was a good
so,
stream. We had a West Ham fan on. It was a lot of
make
fun.
sure you go and watch and make sure you like the stream as well. So I thought, right, I might as well just push this stream back to Friday. Everyone is going to be off on a Saturday. Have a few pints, sit playing tomorrow as well. So I thought,
Mateus, a few pints.
And I thought everyone would be coming here with their sunglasses. There's a new trend going on online.
Well, I'm doing that on Tuesday. I'm going to the game, and if we win 4-0, I'm gonna. Alf knows the Madrid fans. I'm actually gonna go on their shows and win 4-0. I'm gonna troll. I'm gonna because if we beat that,
I was planning to do that, but I can't find mine.
My record, by the way, is unbeaten all wins so far. By the way, I've always won. So if we win 4-0, everyone will be saying to me, "Go every game." Okay.
Well, we've never.
Don't rule out possibility. Don't rule out the possibility of losing 4-0 at the Etihad too.
Me,
we've lost 3. We've lost 3-2 last time, didn't we? Actually, the last 2 times we played, we lost. We was 2-2 draw. We lost on pens, and we lost 3-2.
You know what's funny?
Pens
right?
isn't real.
People are comparing this to 4-0 Barcelona, right? Well, that game, Origi scored. Wijnaldum got 2 goals, and Origi got 2. So that means Rico Lewis is scoring 2, and
they scored from a corner. Have you seen the state of our corners?
Imagine the scene. Savio 2 goals. What is happening? Why am I seeing him turn the prime Ronaldinho and cooking up Carreras?
Man, I already know. Yeah, I'm going on Tuesday as well. But I
you and me on the piss after the game.
we out. I'm gonna just say it. We out. But at the end of the day, you just
we outside the quarterfinals.
Because we've never come back from a Champions League tie when we're losing, and at the end of the day, they start getting their players back, and they got 3-0 in their pocket, so they don't have to.
There you go.
They don't have to go. They don't have to attack us. They just have to sit back and hit us on the break. And throughout this season, we've seen how we struggle against teams that play lower block. Against teams that comes out and press us, we actually play well. We play the ball around and we just counter them. But against teams that drops deep, that's what they're going to do. Because if they don't that at home, best believe they're going to do that away.
Oh, by the way, right, what I'm going to do just to be shameless. I'm going to wear a cagoule, put my shades on, the anthem on, just do that.
Just like, no, I'll put it back. I'll keep it. It's hard to see with them on.
Doing that.
No.
Oh, here he is.
I couldn't find
it. All right, the chaos is here.
I couldn't find him. I couldn't find my sunglasses. But anyway, let's crack on. Look, thanks very much for coming in. And what's your thoughts on Wednesday night?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously, Alf and Kel's know a bit more about it than obviously you do, but it's been a couple of days. I've sort of calmed down a bit, but for me, if anything, I still thought I don't mind losing football matches because it will happen. You aren't win every game; it's not going to happen. But the performance on Wednesday was a disgrace from top to bottom. Like I saw players walking at the Bernabeu, acting like they're going to win the game and win it because they thought Madrid was shit. if anything we've known with anything, guys, doesn't matter how shit Madrid are. It's the Bernabeu on a UCL night. You go there, you get your draw, you get your 2-1 if you nick it, and you go home and then batter them. That's what we've always done. Because Madrid, when they come to us, obviously last year was because we were just bad last year, but we still got 2 goals last year, which is mad. Even though we were crap, we got 2 goals past them because Haaland turned up against Madrid. The problem is with the moment is that if for me the issue isn't that other people say about the defense and midfield, whatever, and I get it. But for me, it's I know we're not going to score goals, and that's concerning. I wouldn't mind it so much if we were scoring goals more consistently. But the problem is at the moment, there's a game where we score 2 or 3, and we might score 0 or get 1. If I trusted my attack more, I wouldn't be so upset with conceding goals. But that's what worries me right now. I need to see more from my attack. I need to see more from everyone banging the goals in. So I'm like, you know what? At least if we're not playing well, we've got our attackers who score goals as well. That's just where I'm at right now. Like that's why I think for me on Tuesday, obviously Remontada that happens, then I'm buzzing. But that's just I've got to see more from this attack before I can trust it more. It come back in times like this.
And what's your thoughts on them? There's quite a lot mixed opinion, especially online, in terms of the team selection. Because I saw a few reaction when the team came out. I had quite a lot of questions when the lineup came out, and I was speaking to my mate Elliot, and I was like, I don't get why in the big game we are trying to experiment, and it was like how we experimenting, and I was like, we playing 3 wingers and a striker, and I don't know which position each one of them are playing, and I even add that right. Why are we moving out one of our best midfielders to play left back again, and why are we playing a centre half? Why are we dropping our best right back this season to accommodate a centre half in there? So there's quite a lot of question marks, but I was seeing the reaction online as well. A lot of people were actually happy. It was like, oh, let's go all guns blazing, let's slap them. And I was like, regardless of how many inches they have,
conservative approach always, Bernabeu.
They're still a difficult team to beat, especially in the Champions League and knockout stage.
Yeah.
They always up for it. So I didn't get why all of a sudden we decide to change the whole entire system that I was working and just change the whole personnel. I was watching the press conference from last night, and he tried to justify it rather than just come out and say, I got it wrong. I think we were a bit listen, I just got it wrong. But he was justifying for the fact that I play this player because he was good against Newcastle, and I play this player because he's been playing that position at the start of the season, even though he's not been playing that anymore. So I don't get it. What right? And I'm gonna ask that question to Hamza. Big up Hamza, and thanks for coming on. Yeah. Why why did he decide to go with that approach in a big match in the Champions League away from home rather than be a bit more conservative? Because we've seen even in the treble season, we dropped deep out at the Bernabeu. We were very we were like it was 4-4-2. Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland not pressing much, but just playing up front, and the whole team would just kind of sit back. Let's manage the game and come out here for the draw. But this time we decide, right, I'm going to play 4-2-4 and let's just go all attack. Why did it change something that it was working, Hamza, considering that this team is still fragile, it's not being consistent enough?
I think because the thing is, we have to accept that he has come to a point like even people who back Pep and agree with Pep, they'll criticize him. I think it comes back to the quote, like he's done it too many times now. He's being asked the question. You can see he's agitated. He's trying to justify. Just say you got it wrong. We've seen it before. We've seen it at Lyon. What he did, he played 3 at the back. Man City has never played at the 3 at the back after beating we had beaten Real Madrid. I think before that, and the COVID, we had Leon to beat, easy beat. He went 3 at the back. We lost that game. He played Gundogan against Liverpool in the Champions League as a right back. We lost that game. He in the final against Man City at Chelsea, he did again altered, no DM. We beat PSG. We beat good sides all the way to the final, and he decided not to take a DM. And then we go back to the quote by Fabio Capello. Fabio Capello said, "You know what I don't like about Guardiola is arrogance. The Champions League he won with City is the only one that he didn't try anything funny. But every other years in Manchester, in Munich, on key days, he always wanted to be a protagonist. He would change things and invent so that he could say, it's not the players who win, it's me. And the arrogance has cost him Champions League on many occasions. I respect him, but I think it's clear." And I agree with that call. I agree with you. Like, Pep is not someone that should not be questioned. No human being in this world cannot make a mistake. And I think Pep made a huge mistake, like 100%, but he keeps doing the same thing. Forget that.
You are
By
being too
By
nice.
Leverkusen.
He did not make a mistake.
But no, by Leverkusen.
Let him speak, bro. Come on. Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
By Leverkusen. What did he do? We had not gone through. What did he do about Leverkusen? He tinkered the whole lineup. A team where you're at home, comfortable, you can win that game. We lost that game. Because of that game, we're on the hardest part of the draw. Because of that game. If we had beaten by Leverkusen and all these other games, or Bordeaux games, would have been the other side, the easiest side.
Was that guaranteed? Because Bayern Munich finished second and he's on a hard side.
If we'd 3 points, would have been above those. Everyone else finished the same points as us. We just made it. Would have been 2 points ahead. We would have been the other side.
Who finished higher? Us or Sporting?
Sporting.
Sporting finished higher than us. Even Bordeaux Glimt.
Yep.
Bordeaux Glimt finished.
Bordeaux Glimt's going on qualifications.
Yeah, but Bordeaux Glimt was on the other side.
100%. Listen,
No,
I back
they had to play in a playoff though.
Listen,
we
I back
didn't. That was our reward, but
okay.
because we finished 8th, we got the worst draw. And then
we because of
and you just don't know what teams are going to make it.
If we had beaten by Leverkusen, we would have finished above Tottenham. We would have finished 18 points with Liverpool with better goal difference.
Oh yeah.
May I say something?
Go ahead, Alan. You just hopped in. Hop on in.
If thanks for having me on as well. Let me say my piece, and there's about 3 or 4 different reasons why we did what we did on Wednesday, which weren't right. Okay. First things first. When I saw the lineup, I went, "What the hell?" When I saw Doku, Semenyo and Savio on the same pitch, I went, "What is he doing?" He went too gun-ho in the first leg away at the Bernabeu. Hello? Away at the Bernabeu in the first leg. Let that sink in for a second, right? There isn't anyone on this panel or any City fan would have gone, "What the hell's he doing?" I thought Kevin Keegan had come back as manager.
Nah, I just
hear me out. I said at the start of the season, I've said it.
Sorry, Alan, but you don't even play that lineup against Brentford away.
Yeah, I agree. Let's hear me out. Let me finish. I said at the start of the season to Hamza and Martin and a few other people, and Kelster will back me up this. I said we have bought 14 new players in 12 months. Okay, everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Only 2 of those players we've bought have won a trophy before. Okay, 2 of them. All right. Have a think about who them 2 are. Right, one of them's Donnarumma. So you've only got one outfield player that's ever played and ever won a trophy before. So the first thing you think about, the players that we've got, yes, they're good players. They're not great players. They're good players. Okay? They've never won trophies. Never won trophies before, and they're not used to winning game in, game out. Now you tell me right now, and I've got evidence of this. Those players that played the other night, yes, it's a big game away at the Bernabeu against a Real Madrid side. Don't give a shit if they've got injuries. Don't care, right? Okay. I looked at the eyes of a few of the players in the tunnel when they were coming out, and a few of them were shitting themselves. I saw Semenyo walk on the pitch before the game started, just when they were walking when it's empty. He's looking around thinking, oh my God, right? That's just telling it straight to, eh?
He's never been there before.
Yeah, it's his first Champions League game. Like, I understand him and Semenyo being nervous. It was their first game.
Gelster. So why are we going out, going gun ho again and leaving gaps at the back, moving O'Reilly out of midfield and putting him fullback again, and leaving massive gaps for the counter attack, which has been our Achilles heel for 2 years.
Yeah, the solution is sitting on our bench right now.
Right, so
we don't need to sign the player. He's already here. His name's Nico Gonzalez.
To me, when they scored, when we were doing all right for the first 15, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
When they scored the first goal, we completely collapsed. Completely. And I thought it was coming. I'm thinking, they made two mistakes at the back, or three actually. One was Gay tracking the centre forward into his own half, into Real Madrid's half. The other was O'Reilly going 10 yards inside their half when he should be stood on the halfway line. As soon as Gay followed theirs, it was the signal to go straight over the top of the fullback, and it was a complete foot race. And Varane is quick. He's quick. Then the keeper makes another mistake and comes out, and I'm going, what's he doing? What's he doing? He didn't need to. From there, he did not need to. So straight away, as soon as we go 1-0 down, away, at the Bernabeu, playing like we were doing, and then collapsing in the first half, which we did. I thought I was watching PSG or Sporting Lisbon game from last season. It was that bad. So I look at it like this. Pep got it wrong. You shouldn't go gun-ho. You keep it tight. You pack the midfield, and you get a result at the Bernabeu. Bring them back to the Etihad and try and beat them. That's what you do. And everyone knows that. And everyone knows that. So Pep deserves an absolute shoeing. I'm going to say something now as well, and I'm not picking him out because he didn't play on Wednesday. Right? 2 years we've had an incompetent Phil Foden not fucking playing to his potential. We all know he's got ability. We all know that. Right? We need a Phil Foden who's playing well.
Does he got the mentality though?
Yeah, if I was the management of City, I would put him in a room on his own and say, Phil, you've got 8 weeks now to get your form sorted out. Otherwise, we ain't offering you another contract.
Because it's mad.
Wow.
So I'm gonna.
You can say that. You can say that. Kel, he's on nearly 300 grand a week.
300.
Yeah.
300 grand a week.
No money, Kel.
Is he already? That's what he's being offered.
And he's been on 300 grand a week, and he hasn't performed for 2 years, apart from 6 games.
Yeah.
If you did that in your job, you'd get fired.
Yeah.
Please tap me in because I'm
gonna bring all the guys in as well. But I've got
all right, I've said my piece.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Daniel. Thanks, Alan. Oh, the thing is, he didn't want to admit that he got it wrong, but at halftime, he made a change. One change, he took his Savio off. He brought in Reinders, which I didn't understand. At the time, I was like, what's he trying to do with Reinders and that? is it? Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Reinders is a player that is a box crusher. Is someone that depends on delivering the box so he can be there. And I was like, right, if you took someone, if you took off Savio because you were asking Savio to put balls in the box, to bring someone in that attacks the box, and you just took someone who can put the ball in the box, it doesn't really make any sense. And I'm like, really? And I'm going to bring Daniel in there, and a very good point you brought in, Foden, because Foden hasn't come on for 2 games, especially when we need the goal. He's just been sat on the bench. Everyone else is coming on. Even Savio is playing. But our star boy, who's on the verge of getting 300 grand a week, is not getting any game. Why is that, Daniel?
Pep doesn't trust him.
He needs too much to be right to get right. And under the current circumstance that we are in, we don't have the time. Pep doesn't have the time. The new guys that just got here, they don't have the time to find their legs so that Foden can find his legs and get going. Let's just go through the games we had through the season. Does anybody remember Bayer Leverkusen? Our midfield got outplayed by a midfielder that came from the Eredivisie. He cost 20 mil. Does anybody remember Aston Villa? He put John Stones in midfield, understanding that was going to have a consequence against a physical Villa side. We have to stop saying that he did something wrong. Matthias, you've convinced me to watch his press conferences. He does not think they did anything wrong. He does not think he did anything wrong. The lineup was what worked for the best for the club, for the players.
Sorry, Daniel. Sorry, Daniel. But remember half time, yeah, I messaged you, all of you, and I said that, yeah, no, it was before the final whistle. Watch him in the press conference. He would come out and said, we played well in the second half.
Yes.
Just because the only reason why he's going to say it is because Real Madrid didn't score and we had more of the ball. Real Madrid was already 3-0 up at half time. They didn't need to go and score more.
Yeah. Yeah.
He will use that or more possession. We control the game as we played well.
100%. And we had the last stream with Mad Hatter, and we were talking about Savio with the performance versus Newcastle, that he's going to take that as a justification to put him in. I'm sorry, not all games are the same. Newcastle have been very inconsistent. They're missing their best player. If you think that performance from someone that has been inconsistent all season is now a reason for you to insert him in an inconsistent, unbalanced side, to me, you're playing with fire, but to me, you're telling me that you're arrogant enough that you believe it's going to work. So you should not be surprised when it doesn't work. He's not going to change because he thinks he can make some of these players into being great players. And like Alan said, some of these guys, they're good players, but they're not great players. And some of these guys, including Foden, need too much to be right in order to get right. We don't have that because this club has shot themselves in the foot and has decided to be in the middle. You're not rebuilding the proper way because if you're rebuilding, you're patient. They want to win now. And if you're trying to win now, it means you're also not willing to incur the pain of going through the growing phase. It's been 3 years of Doku. Has he really improved? Alan Saint Maxima.
I'm going to say something now.
Hold on, Alan. Hold on.
All right.
Alan Saint Maxima, at his time at Newcastle, was more of an impact player than Savio and Doku, and he was a sub. The fact that they're still not performing to the same degree statistically, what has him believing, the club believing, that those players are good enough? Doku is not better than St. Maxima today. He's not. Not even as an impact sub consistently, because at least that part St. Maxima did consistently. The Savio part, the politics, I don't understand. I'm going to disagree on the defense. because the defense has been suffering for the imbalance in midfield and the inconsistency with the press up front with the forwards. So then, as a result, they're always caught flat-footed, or the pairing has been wrong. You either take out Nunes when you shouldn't take out Nunes, or you don't play Kusanov, understanding that you need pace. They played the same high line, and you saw that clip. He told what's his name, Rodri, to step up. And then there was a vacancy in the gap that was left behind, and Gahey took it. And oh yeah, now you left Nico G, and it took Valverde to have a world-class touch and go. And there was nobody there with besides the goalkeeper, who also didn't make the save that he normally is supposed to make. You're gambling with fire. We've been saying it all season. This team has margins, and the margins are so small that even a basic opposition like Forest, if they show up with the right attitude, Mateus, tell me if you heard this. If they show up with the right energy, Brighton, substitution, 5, second half. If 5 substitutions with guys that just want it more, it can beat this side. If the energy factor is something that we're not bringing consistently, and then you're mixing it around with the tactics, what do you expect? And then the Viking has decided to take a siesta for the last 2 months. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Let me give you a quick example, right? You can all make your mind up when I say this statement. We play 3 up front. Haaland's the only striker. Agreed? Okay.
I think Semenyo is kind of a striker also.
Well,
I don't think, because we're not playing him as a winger.
They're not. Well, listen, Haaland's playing as a striker, and we have 2 wide players that are not wingers, the wide players that should invert when we're on the attack, when they need to come at the far post or the near post, i.e., in the circumstance of the week of midweek, Savio and Doku. How many goals has league goals has Doku got and Savio got? I'll give you 1 each, right? Their target, their KPIs for the season should be 10 each. And if they've not done that, see you later. I'm sorry, but Doku's been there 3 fucking years.
3 years.
I'm sorry, he hasn't produced.
Why are we making Doku do a contract based on what?
The thing is,
it's a waste of money.
The narrative online is that this is Doku's best season.
He's got 1 goal.
Exactly.
Yeah, if that's what we're going to be signing to a contract extension, and we've already given Savino a new contract, I don't expect us to be winning anything because that's not good enough.
He wasn't my favourite player, but Raheem Sterling got 20 goals a season coming into the far post, tapping balls in.
Easy.
And we used to cry about it, saying he wasn't good enough.
But mate, with all due respect,
I'll
give you an example. LB did this the other day. I don't know if you saw it, but when the ball was coming away from the left from Doku across the face of the goal, there was 5 of our players stood still when the ball went
None of
across
them
the
attempted
face.
to
Not
actually
one. Only Bernardo, who's 31, mind you, was attempting to
and the least likely to score because he doesn't score goals.
Yeah. You've got Haaland, who stood there doing fuck all.
Right. Let me bring in
comment about
bring
this.
Prof
Can I just say something really quick about? I think one thing we're kind of learning this season, in this game in particular, is I think that to suddenly change what Nico O'Reilly's doing and to suddenly change what Husanov is doing, they might not be ready for that. They might not be experienced enough to be able to change that on the fly. Because, like we said, Nico O'Reilly has been playing in the midfield for the past month. And Husanov, the last time he played as a right back was the last time I remember him starting as a right back was in September at the Emirates. So maybe they're just not experienced enough yet because they're both 20 years old and they haven't been playing that long.
Yeah, but it's not
maybe they're not ready for these changing tactics that suddenly in such a big game.
It's not about
Semenyo just got here 2 months ago. There's no way he should be, and he's never played that position before. Asking him to do that in his first Champions League game ever, when he's probably already nervous, and then ask him to do something he physically can't do and doesn't know how to do, was a big mistake from Pep. And I'm very worried about the ramifications this is going to have in the squad, because you had a bunch of players at Newcastle who succeeded. Nico G had a great game. Marmoush had a great game. Turkey has been great all season. The 3 of them are nowhere to be found in a game like this when they've been nothing but excellent for us, I would say. And Nunes has been great all season. I know Alan doesn't like him, but that's okay. He's been excellent.
I'll say one. I'll
he
say
gets
one
dropped
thing.
in a
I'll
big
say,
game. Like that's gonna shatter their confidence. Nori's been performing well. I think that when you just he has his favorites, and
I'll say.
but
one
some
thing.
of them
He's
aren't good
played
enough
well this
anymore,
year.
or never
He's
were good
played-
enough to begin with. So they shouldn't automatically get that spot. Like if we're gonna play players based on form, like you just benched all your best players in form, played all your players that were out of form, and wondering why we lost the game after you changed all the tactics, it makes no sense.
Our players on Wednesday night were like deer in headlights. They were fucking frightened. They were shit scared at the Bernabeu. I'm telling you, they were.
Also,
But
like you said, 14. Sorry, I'm going to butt in really quick, and then I'll stop.
The thing is, we played a back four of players that they never played together ever this season. They never played that back line. They never played together all at once. It's for you as a manager to go in a big game, a knockout stage, and decide to play a back line that has no chemistry between them four, because Gehi, Diaz, and Kusanov, they never played together alongside Nico Riley left back. Jimmy is just mental. But let me just bring on Prophet as well and Zoro. And the one thing I want to highlight is that our leg form in this calendar year has been nothing but embarrassing. We've won 4 games out of 10. 4 games out of 10. We start in a New Year's Day with Sunderland, drew. Then we play Chelsea at home, drew. Brighton, drew. We play United, we lost. We play Wolves, we won. We play Spurs, 2-0 up at half time, we drew that game. We played Liverpool, we won. We played Fulham, we won. We played Newcastle, we won. We played Forest, we drew. And that's not a form if you want to challenge for the title. 4 wins in 10 is not good enough. And when you mirror that with our Champions League result, start from the group stage, we've won open and all the way to Wednesday, we've won 3 games, we lost 3, and we drew 1. That's not good enough, man. It's not good enough. Like, if you want to win the title, yeah, and you've played Sunderland, Chelsea at home, Brighton at home, Man United away, Wolves at home, Spurs away, Liverpool at home, Liverpool away, Fulham at home, Newcastle, Forest. You have to at least go out there and win 6-7 games out of 10, not 4. Do you know what I mean? Well, Prophet, what are you saying, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not quite sure why anyone is surprised. The prophecy already went out before the season started. I'm hearing people cursing the wingers. Oh, we need better wingers. Whether it's Due, whether it's Olise, whether it's Lamine Yamal, it would be the same thing. I am watching Barcelona, for those of us who watch games outside of the Premier League. As good as Lamine Yamal is, he is provided assistance from his fullback and his midfield. Even if it is Eric Garcia, who was rubbish at Manchester United, he is there to either underlap or overlap. Our wingers do not have any platform to go out and perform. Doku was 1v3. Where was Nico O'Reilly? Sitting in Rodgers' lap in midfield. What do we expect Doku to do? Savio saw the ball a couple times, and then after that, I didn't even know he was on the pitch. Where was Kusa now? 15 million miles back. There's no way on God's green earth we can play Savio and Doku and not have Ran and Nunes on the pitch. It makes no sense. It was a kamikaze lineup. from Pep Guardiola. Nothing that we have not seen before. So he sold the match, right? Play yourself into the tie. Earn the right to batter Real Madrid. See what is happening. It was just gung ho, throw the kitchen sink at them. Have Real been bad this season? Yes, they have. But I have not seen any team that beat Real approach the game like that. It didn't make any sense. And we have fans trying to go around and trying to make sense of the madness. There's no sense to what Pep did, except that it's his ego, and he decided that he wanted to do it that way. Simple as that. It doesn't matter which players we buy, it is going to be the same thing. Pep is not going to play to the strength of the player. He's going to try and bend the player to his will. You're not going to see Turkey on a regular basis until he becomes a back pass merchant. As Turkey is at this moment in time, you're not going to see him in any big match. You're going to see the bullshit with Semenyo with his two concrete feet as number 10. How you work that out, only God really knows. We're going to continue to see the same foolishness over and over. Also, during this run-in, you're going to see Bernardo, Rodri, and Ruben Diaz as a staple in the 11. They're not going to win not a goddamn thing. It is madness. We keep making the same excuses over and over. Oh, it's a transition season. We can't win. Of course, we can win now. Are you telling me that Nottingham Forest is a better team? Real Madrid, the players on the pitch, I don't even know half of these players. Are they a better team? The difference is they have been provided with a platform. Michael Carrick has had 2 training sessions, if that much, and came up with a tactic to beat Pep. Nice and easy. Because everybody knows how we want to play. Embarrassing. We did not look at any point in the game that we could have scored a goal. Because you know what? Roger's going to get the ball. Maybe there's a gap there to fire it through the line. He's not going to do it. I'm going to pass it down to the side around there.
What the funny thing is,
Pass it around there.
sorry, man. Do you know the funny thing is? When you look back in the games against United, Leverkusen, Bodo Glimt, and Real Madrid, the one we've just played, them 4 teams play the same way and beat us the same way. You would think that we played Leverkusen, I think December, and Bodo Glimt in January? January, yeah. You would think that
United Bodo Glimt back to back.
Pep Guardiola would just sit down with his coaching staff and figure out, right, we need to stop these teams and the way they play. But I just don't think like he's doing that. I feel like he's just, this is how we should play, regardless of what the opposition is going to do.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think this is Pep's last season?
It has to be his last season.
Yeah.
Because it is not going to get any better if he signs an extension. Anything he does after here, it is finished. So all of the fan base is trying to hold on and grab on and cling on to Pep, cling on to the ex that no longer loves you. You're in for a rude awakening. Nothing.
I'll be honest with you now. The players that we've got at the moment are good players, but they're not great players. They're not great players. They're not David Silva. They're not Yaya Toure. They're not Kevin De Bruyne in midfield. They're none of those, right, who are world-class players, in my opinion. And we've got decent Premier League players in there and a good youngster. All right.
But we also, the same can be said.
Who are the ones that
even
you think
in the
are
past,
good
yeah,
still?
even in the past when we bought Rodri, Bernardo, they were good players, but they were not world-class players at the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Gundogan, when he showed up, he was not he was good, but not great. This is Pep's job, is to elevate these players.
The thing is,
I think you've seen it with Nico G and Nico O'Reilly. He has made them better this season. A little bit, but then they don't play enough.
It
doesn't matter, Alan. One sec. I said at the time, it doesn't matter who you buy, it will not improve. When people sat there online and say, "Oh, we next in the summer, let's just get Anderson, everything is going to be okay," and I sat there and asked the very same question: if Anderson was available on Wednesday night, would he start ahead of Bernardo Silva or Rodri?
No.
Absolutely not. No, no,
Why
no,
is
no,
why is
no.
in your right mind you think that buying X, Y, and Z is going to solve anything?
Well, part of a rebuild is moving players on, and we haven't done that enough. And that's the problem because, like I've said, we have solutions. They're just all sitting on our bench right now because Pep refuses to play them.
Right
they
now,
have helped us all season.
Right, Kusanov should be the first name in that back line week in, week out, but he's sat on the bench.
We have to accept that this season, I've said to many of you before, this season is a rebuild. We're halfway through it. So we have to be patient. And for some reason, our fan base thinks we're going to win the league, we're going to win the Champions League, we're going to win the FA Cup. And I'm going, calm down. We're in a bloody rebuild. But Pep's, on Wednesday, was it Pep's fault? Of course it was. And we all know it was. Right? I've never seen Pep in a press conference ever slag any of our players off, ever, or have a go. He's never done it. And he won't do it, which is the right thing to do. Behind closed doors, he might be doing.
Alan, even in a rebuild that you claim, which is, well, basically we are, you still have to be able to go out there and beat Nottingham Forest at home. You still have to be able to beat Brighton at home. Chelsea.
Pep won't be there next season, mate. I'm telling you. He will not be there next season.
I have a question then. What is the goal of a rebuild? It's to develop new players, right? Develop the new young players and phase out the old players, right? Would you say that we have adequately done that this season?
Yep.
We've developed our players. Like, would you trust Nico G to start every game next season? Would you trust Kusanov to start every game next season?
Nico G, yes. Kels really improved. Kels, and even Go Nunes has improved massively.
Wow. Kels. We never thought we'd hear that.
Kels, we came into the season with quotes talking about depending on John Stones. If Kusanov was one of your center backs that you were going to lean on in a developmental year, you needed to play him, even if it would have come through pain. They did not do that. I'm going to put it on everybody because I'm not just going to put this on Pep. Viana was on board. The board was on board. Ownership was on board. And it came with a consequence. When you got two senior center backs ahead of a young center back that you know you're going to need for the future. Because remember, coming into the season, there was also talk about Stones getting a 1-year contract. 1 more year of John Stones would have been a block on the development of Kusanov as well. Because if you leave him at his vices, he's going to play John Stones and not play Kusanov, even if you understand and you can see that you need pace and physicality. It was the same thing in the midfield. We could see that Nico G helped, and Nico G needed time and opportunity by injury and setbacks of Rodri to get the game time.
I've got a feeling that he's going to play Diaz and Stones in the cup final because they can't play.
Mateos, if Kovacic was available, Kovacic would be playing in front of Nico G.
I agree there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That
would have been development of Nico G.
Correct.
Also, where's Phil Foden? And if Bernardo is going to leave at the end of the season, shouldn't we start phasing him out of the team so that we can develop the player who's going to play instead of him next season?
You can't. Because Bernardo, even in his Swiss cheese role, let's just say, because he has some holes in his game, some limitations, he still has world-class effort, even if the effort doesn't result in...
Bernardo's going to sign a 1-year deal.
Just listen, Alan.
Oh, then we're not rebuilding. I'm just going to say it right now. We are not in a rebuild if he stays.
Bernardo is a good player.
Yes.
When you bring in players that don't know how to win, you need to have guys that need to show them how to win. Unfortunately, the guys that are showing these guys how to win are not the impact consistent guys. So if you're a young player trying to take the horn of, let's say, the leadership or the mantle of being one of the impact feature guys, the spine for the next generation, let's just look at it. When KDB came, he had, even in a declining David Silva, David Silva was still good. When Rodri came in, he had a declining Fernandinho, but Fernandinho was still good. Where you could see the difference where KDB was not, let's just say, at the level of David Silva. Rodri was not at the level of Fernandinho. Those guys were still starting certain games above them. But you could see the flashes, but you could also see that the other guys were senior enough and impacting enough that you could teach the other guy and justify them on sitting on the bench. Right now, how do you tell Turkey that Semenyo's a better 10 than him? He's not. He's not the same quality of techie player. You can't do that. How do you tell Marmouche that had double-digit goals and assists that Savio is more of an impact player when Savio's never scored that amount of goals or assists in his career? That doesn't make sense.
And the thing is, even with Marmouche, right? If you're not playing him and he asks to, let's say for example, and if you decide, the club decide, right, this guy's not playing, let's sell him in the summer, you're gonna find it really hard to sell him. The first reason is that you need to find a club that's gonna match up at least the price that you paid for him and the wages that he's currently on, which is 295 grand a week. Do you see any club in Europe paying that wage for
No, which is why I said it's going to be a loan. And I'll tell you one thing: they've shot themselves, and they've done the same mistake twice because they've wanted to win. If they were serious, because they've got two young center backs that are very good, one should have been coming back next season. If you have the leadership, if you have the leadership and inconsistency, let's just say even in Diaz, I think he's been more good than bad. Diaz, I think, is good enough where he could have been someone, let's say even with a Nathan Ake, to groom these guys to step into the role. But now instead, I like Margehi, don't get me wrong. You brought in Margehi. Margehi does the same thing as Ruben Diaz.
Yes.
So you've
They're
got
the same player, bro.
They are the same player. So now you've got a redundant player and another player in Diaz that you extended. In 2-3 years, he's going to be in a decline, but he's got big wages. You're either going to have to move him on, and you're then going to have to be going into the market to get another young center back. If you don't get the development of Kusinov or Reyes right, you shot yourself in the foot because now you're going to need that. If Gavardio did not get hurt, you had no reason to go and get Margehi, even if it was an opportunistic buy, because your Diaz and Gavardio, or let's say your Gavardio and Kusinov or whatever combination with Reyes, that should have been your core center backs that you should have built on. But I get it. You did a market buy. You went and you got Gehi. But now that has implications because now if you're Kusinov, are you going to start over the pairing with Diaz and Gehi? If you're Diaz, and now if you're out of the lineup, what are you going to do? You just extended. Now you need to look for a place. If you're Hayes, where do you come back? You're not going to be starting over Kusinov, or potentially you could. Vice versa with Kusinov, there's going to be implications on you starting with or without, let's say, Hayes, with Stones, or not, sorry, with Diaz, or with Kusinov, or with Gehi. You've shot yourself in the foot. They hyped up Mark Salane. Where's Max Salane? He has no future right now. He has no future. Max Salane will be sold. And that is where I've been concerned because these implications, they trickle in.
I forgot Max Lane was alive. I was like, what the hell is that guy?
Just hear me out.
Yesterday.
Just hear me out, Mateus, because it's redundancy and it's starting to affect different positions. You did it with the goalkeepers. You did it with the center backs. You're going to do it with the midfielders because if you bring in Elliot Anderson, now you've got a redundancy with Rodri, Nico G, and Elliot Anderson. Who's going to play the six?
That's a very interesting.
You just play two out of the three of them every game.
To cut you off. Yeah,
just one quick second. If you
and I want to bring Zorro. I want to bring Zorro as well in the conversation. He's been quiet for quite long.
Okay.
And that's a very quite interesting question. And I want to ask Zorro: do you think that there has been a clear plan in this rebuild? Because at this right moment in time, we are buying. So far we've bought 22 players. Let's say not 22. Sorry, we bought 14 players. And we seem to still relying on the old guys, i.e. Diaz, i.e. Bernardo, Rodri, Haaland and whatnot. And the guys that we put in from, was it January 2025, summer 2025, and January 2026, they don't seem to get a consistent game time. Turkey is not getting a consistent game time. Reinders has been in and out of the team. He plays mostly cup games. Gusanov only plays if there's an injury. If there is no injury, he doesn't play. Marmoush, he plays well. He comes in, score a goal. The next game he's on the bench, or comes in. If he's not playing well in the next game, he gets benched. But we've seen even the old guys that have been here for years, they drop in 3-4 stingers, but they're still in the starting lineup in the next game. I feel like there's not been a clear plan and a whole bit rebuild thing. Now we're talking about giving Bernard an extension, even though we know we're planning to sign a midfielder, and if Bernardo stays alongside Pep, Bernardo Silva will be playing week in, week out, because Pep Guardiola told us in a press conference.
Get used to it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Then we aren't rebuilding.
No, Pep Guardiola told us in a press conference, I sleep better when I'm playing Bernardo. So I need to look after my health. That's why he plays, because I love him. He knows the patterns. He knows how I want to play.
Yeah.
He plays. So if you go out there and spend £8 million on Anderson, right, then you've got 60 million you spend on Reinders, he's not getting a game time. 300k a week on Foden, we just sat on the bench. 80 million on Anderson, Bernardo, Rodri,
Johnny,
6 million pounds on Nico Gonzalez.
Another 50 million.
Where are we going to fit all these players to play?
The problem we've got, this is the problem we've got. The problem is, to buy a decent player these days is you have to pay nearly 100 million or more, right? Which is ridiculous, right? That's a lot of money. So we spent 500 million when a decent player costs 100 million. And the players that they've been there 3 or 4 years, especially the ones that won the treble, you're having to pay them 300, 350 to keep them there, right?
Yeah.
Because they're getting increases, right? The trouble is, if you decide to get rid of some of these players and go somewhere else, they might agree a fee for them. But when it comes to wages, if you're on 100 grand a year at home and someone offers you 50 grand a year, you're not going to accept it. This is the problem that the players are going to have.
For example, Nathan Ake is on 190k a week. So if you decide to sell Nathan Ake tomorrow to Bournemouth can come to you and say, right, we can pay a fee. However, we're only willing to give Nathan Ake 70k a week. So the other rest,
just say see you later.
Yeah, the other rest, right? Okay, we need to get Nathan Ake off the squad. Man City will think, right, you have to pay off his contract. That's what we done with Gundo, because Gundo signed a 2 years contract on the 230k a week, and we played Gundo throughout the season. We played him in the Club World Cup, and then we decided last minute, we need to sell this guy. But he still had a year left on his contract. So we're selling you, but Gundo was like, you need to pay me off.
Correct.
That's what's going to happen with a lot of players, because they're not getting game time. But Zoro, what are you saying, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Hope you're all doing well. Well, I don't think this rebuild is for Pep. For this rebuild to work, Pep needs to leave. For the last 2 years, we spent 600 mil, and nothing is working out. It became Pep is performing so bad. I don't even think he's top 10 manager in the Prem right now. I will take Arteta over him. The guy is doing really, 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 really bad. He got outcoached by a caretaker at Chelsea, United, Madrid with a lot of players missing. I don't even know what to think anymore. Another point is, Allen said that we don't have a lot of world class players. That's true, but at the current state of football, we don't need a lot of world class players. Like the constant state of football is so poor that we have people like Rice being nominated for Ballon d'Or. We don't need a lot of world class player. I think our team is pretty good. If we get someone like Inzaghi or Maresca, we can win the league or UCL next season. I don't know what you guys think.
Delict? I'm not a fan of that, but
Listen,
I do agree with your
I
point.
agree.
There's not a lot of world class players out there.
Because at the end of
and
the day, you don't need an 11 full of world class player to be
no.
17th forest at home. Do you know what I mean? It just. But I want to touch on also, and the next topic is the obviously Zoro. You've been online quite a lot, but there seems to be a quite big civil war. I call it a civil war. Yeah, between one side of the fan base and the other side of it.
Oh God, we need Alan for this conversation.
So there's one side
nice
of the fan
bug,
base
Luke.
He's back soon.
Who wants the one side of the fan base who wants to change the manager right now. They've had enough, yada yada yada, and they've got the other side of the fan base who they don't care how the season unfolds. They keep the manager. They're in love with the manager, and they're calling out the other side as not real supporters.
We're being called plastics.
Yeah.
There you go, Claire. What do you make of it, Zoro? You've been online quite a lot, so you know the narrative in there.
Well, honestly, I could care. I could care what they think. This guy Pep since last season, first leg against Newcastle, I was done with him. He played midfield of Rico Lewis, Gundogan, and Kovacic at St. James Park. Since that game, I've been done. Each time I go online and say, like, peppers, they keep calling plastic. Honestly, I could give a single fuck. Like, them people, they think like you can have an international manager, that's okay. International player, that's okay. International money, that's okay, but no international fan. I'm like, what's the point of the game then?
Look, what are you saying?
Alfie joined.
Oh yeah. Well, what is this about the thing with the fans?
Shark. You gotta put the sunglasses on the shark.
I'm gonna be real with you, right? I don't get either side personally. I just, my honest opinion, right? At the end of the day, we should be more together than we should be apart. As I've always said, I don't get like everyone's got opinions and we're all entitled to have our own opinions, but there's no need for everyone to get personal at all. I've always thought that, but anyway. For me, we're wasting our energy arguing with each other than we are actually talking about the club and the actual players. That's what we should be doing. What I've always thought. But again, you know, if you want to get personal with other people, that's up to you. But I'd personally rather talk to people that actually want to sort of just talk about football and the actual what's going on than talk about each other. So that's what I've always thought, mate.
The thing is, listen, I've been saying that for quite a while, and it only comes up when we lose a football match.
Better.
It feels like there's only this narrative that, with the match going fans and the foreign fans and whatnot, and this fight only comes up when we lose a football match. Because when we're winning, everyone is fine. But when we don't win, it feels like one side of the fan base, they don't accept the other side point of view. Even if the other side wants to change the manager, I'm cool with that. Listen, I think people are allowed to have their own opinion because at the end of the day, whether you go into the game or not, you still spend your own money. Yeah, we spend our money every season just standing there in the freezing cold, raining, watching City week in, week out. But you also, even though you're watching at home, you also spend money on your subscription. And every single Premier League club takes a cut from the money that you pay for each subscription. Directly, you pay to watch Man City, if that makes sense. So you're allowed to have your opinion. Do you know what I mean? So what baffles me is that this narrative that if you don't go to games, you're not allowed to asking questions, if that makes sense. and I'm sat there, I'm watching a few people. Some of these accounts I know, Jerry. Some of these people I know. I've met some of them, but at the same time, I'm like, nah, man. If they want to change in the, if they want Viana to go, that's their opinion. Do you know what I mean?
Viana.
Well, Mateus, right? There, I'm not sure if you guys remember ever watched this, right? But Blue Moon Rising TV, it was Pep's first season. There was this older City fan who was chatting to Alex, who was
He wanted him.
Wanted Pep out
Pep
after
on
Drew
Atletico.
Southampton won. And the thing is, he had every right to have that opinion because it was, but back then there wasn't as vitriol, was there? There wasn't as
He
argument.
wants Simeone. Remember that guy?
Yeah, I remember. But
Yeah.
but back then, the thing is, I was quite vanilla. Where we are now, like I was like, that's his opinion. But you say that now on a fan cam, if there ever was one, Christ, civil war.
It's a civil war, bro. And I'm like, yo. But anyway, Hamza,
That's
you
not
there?
the first one you predicted this season, Mateus.
No, Hamza, you there? Yeah. So, Alfie,
This
West
is probably
Ham.
on a space.
West Ham tomorrow.
Alf believes. Alf on the hype train.
Alf is petting his shark.
Yeah, we're coming
Yeah,
to.
it's the emotional support
West
to
Ham
Blue
tomorrow.
Shark.
With no teeth, because there's no bite up front right now.
This one got teeth. This one got more teeth than Man City.
Oh.
The thing that's I've got a question. Yeah, see, we've got West Ham tomorrow. Then we play Real Madrid. We've got West Ham away.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Then we've got Madrid at home on Tuesday, which is 3 days after. Would you rotate the team, or would you just go strong team? Because at the end of the day, we cannot drop any more points in the league, and
league's more important at the moment. But I also wouldn't give up on the game. At the end of the day, right? I'd rather go out on Tuesday, guns a blazing, than go out.
Who would you start?
So, have you ever heard the song "One Shot at Glory"? I think that's where we are at. We have one shot at glory in both the Champions League and Premier League, and it both involves winning. And to win in the Champions League, we need to figure out our system. There's only one chance that we will get before we play Madrid to figure out our system that is going to work. So that's going to be against West Ham, because what we did against Madrid didn't work. I've already said my piece at the start of the stream, why I don't think our system worked before Madrid either, which is probably a part of the reason why he changed it. Against Forest, we were poor. Against Leeds, we were poor. Against Newcastle, we were poor. Newcastle in the league. There is a system that we know works and that he played in the Cup. He's not going to play that. So I would say one shot at glory. You got to go all in the Premier League, figure out what works, because that's what you're going to need to take to the Champions League game if you want to make anything of that tie. And listen, if you do a remontada, because Alan talked earlier about the mentality of these players, you do a remontada, you beat them. Let's say it's 3-3 on aggregates at full time, and you go win penalties. Those players are going to feel untouchable. So there is nothing to lose in that tie. Either you don't win it, and it's like, yeah, we knew we weren't coming back, or you do win it, and those players sit in cloud nine.
I've got a question.
I think we need to go full in for both games.
I've got a question for Alan and Cal, and you both can decide which one is going first. If we've got West Ham next, we have to win that game. It's just undisputed. We cannot draw, we cannot lose. We have to go out there and win. And most importantly, we have to perform, right? But when it comes down to Tuesday game, right? Let's say for some, I don't believe we're going to turn the tie around. I think we're out, in my opinion. We're just out. We're not going to do anything. But if we somehow manage to do a remontada, do you honestly believe that this team is capable of beating Bayern Munich, PSG? Because that's the next two games.
No. We're out.
Ties.
We're out. No chance. And if we do manage to screw up our way through, Bayern Munich will demolish us.
Because let's not forget, our next game, even if we get through, quarterfinals is against Bayern Munich, and the first leg is at home.
I know, mate. We're not the finished article, not yet. It's going to take another year.
I reckon next season. Personally,
I was gonna say quickly. The funny thing is, what's embarrassing about this Madrid team is a joke. This is the team that lost to Albacete. This is a team that struggled to Osasuna.
Yeah, Hamza. It wasn't the players that we've got. It was the structure that Pep put out there.
Yeah, and it
was the players in that structure.
Yeah, it was just wrong.
I think the thing is, I think it's come to a point that Pep's done this so many times, that now it's the first time.
Well, he has a mental moment most seasons.
Yeah, and I think there's a problem. You saw his interview today. He got rattled. So much. Like he's rattled because people question him like in a Champions League against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu, and you think of that. Yeah,
I know.
Think of
crazy.
That.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
We all. I bet you were sat there, Hamza. I bet you were sat there like I was, right before the game started when they saw the lineup and they were on the field. I bet you had the same. What you're doing now is this.
I was thinking.
I was doing the same.
I said Semenyo doesn't play as a 10. I don't see why Savio playing. He's not been playing much. Experience is what brings Champions League. We've seen experience is what wins Champions League. It's what wins you tournaments.
I'll tell you what else wins Champions League. Clean sheets. Clean sheets win Champions Leagues.
Absolutely.
We've seen it. When we won.
I remember you saying that back in 2023.
Yeah. Clean sheets.
When I started watching Mancunian Way. I remember specifically you saying we need to keep a clean sheet before that Bayern Munich draw. Or tie. And you were right. You were right. Clean sheets.
How can we keep clean sheets when we don't know who's going to start in the back line?
You don't know.
1 week is
exactly
4 players.
We have to move on from Wednesday night. Pep completely fucked up, and he knows he did.
He knows. He didn't want to admit it. It's hurting.
I just hope he apologized to those players.
Well, he doesn't need
to apologize to us, but he needs to apologize to those players, especially the ones that he benched that he should not have, like
Just think of next season when we've got Morgan Gibbs White in midfield.
We're signing Elliot Anderson. We have Nico G. Rodri Kovacic. We're signing Bernardo. We have Phil Foden. We have Ryan Tree. Are we going to have 10 midfielders?
Daniel. Right, I've got a question for you. Yeah, that's for Daniel. Yeah. So when you look at Bayern Munich, I don't think Bayern Munich has better players than us as a squad. But what I do think is that Vincent Kompany found a structure that it doesn't matter who plays in that team, they still play the same way.
Correct.
Yeah.
Their wingers, like, listen, if Olise is a baller, Harry Kane is a top player.
Yeah, Olise is a player.
Yeah. But when you look at
we saw Doku over
even
just remember that.
Pavlovic, is a top player. But when you look at the back line and the overall squad, player for player, we are better. We've got better players. But I don't think we have
Jonathan Tano, Papacano, and Stanley.
Yeah, the thing is, Pep Guardiola has 50 tactics for 50 different teams,
and that is the problem.
That's a problem, bro. If you as a fan you confused how we're gonna play, imagine the players.
Who just got here too. Like they're brand new players. Like they haven't even mastered one system. And you're asking them, like, Semenyo's been here 2 months and he's asking him to do that. Like, that's just that's why he's playing the experienced players. They're literally the only ones who know the tactics. But they're not good enough anymore. Their legs are gone. And that's why we're getting run through.
Have bad players. These guys.
No, we haven't got the quality. We haven't got
the quality is not there. You can't tell
No,
me.
no,
You
no,
can't.
no.
You
Quality
can't
is
tell me.
there. They're
No,
just not
I
being played
disagree.
correctly.
I disagree.
listen to what I'm
You can't
trying
tell
to.
me Savi is a good player.
No,
Don't.
listen,
No.
listen.
I disagree.
No,
They
he's
are
not.
He's
good.
crap.
They're no,
He's
listen.
fine as rotation, not starting.
They're
But
good.
he could do
Hamza.
anything. Half
No,
time
no,
for
no.
him 12.
Just listen
Hamza,
to me for a second.
Hamza,
They're
I
good.
disagree.
They're good players in the right system where they understand
Go
what
on,
they're
Hamza.
being told,
No.
what they're being told to do,
With
or
Alex.
what they
Magic.
can, or what their role is within this system. Again, Savio played with a back three with
He's
wing
crap.
backs.
He's useless.
No, just
Go
listen
on,
for a
Hamza.
He
second.
should be
Go
he
on.
should be
Just
playing for
listen.
Burnley. He will
No,
not
Hamza.
even.
Just
He will not
Hamza.
start
He's
for
a good
Burnley.
player. That
No,
was the wrong way to
Hamza.
use him, though.
Hamza. Just listen. Back three with wing backs, and the wing backs overlap.
Nah, Savi is shit, bro.
No,
Shit.
I get
It
that,
doesn't.
but
You
if you're
can't. How can you be a winger and you don't know how to
no,
shoot?
no, just listen.
Why
If
did he
you're
I've
get
never seen
13
a.
assists last
I've
season if
never
he's
seen a winger
shit?
that cannot
if
how to
you're
shoot.
trying to get the best out of him, that is a structure and a system that works. And if
What did he
not,
do well? Tell me what
you
he does
hold
well.
on, just listen for a second. You have to be patient with him.
I'm not
Okay,
patient.
Holland played in the transition high octane side in Dortmund where they fed him in transition
Facts.
with the runs. Same thing with Marmoush. Semenya was playing on the wing and interchanging on different sides. Okay,
Come on, Hamza. Come on.
And
Mateus Nunes.
Doku
Hold
and
on,
Savino
Mateus.
No,
Mateus.
Savin is shit.
and
He's
No,
shit.
Nunez and Kovacic.
He's
I
not.
They
get
all play
that.
better
I
in
get
He was
transition.
a
that.
failure at
This,
PSV. He only
I
had a one season one at
I get
Girona.
I
I've seen
get
players like Okazaki doing it at
I
PSV
get
one
all that,
season.
and
So
you're
no,
right. I get all that, but
don't
you're
tell
right.
me
But
those
just
kind of.
listen. Mateus Nunes had two good seasons before he made the move to City. He was good at
Okay,
40.
nothing
No,
special. He was not the
just
main man at Wolves.
no. You're making my point. Listen to what I'm going to say. There was a system and a structure where his responsibilities were defined, and he didn't get anything above a certain degree of information. He knew what he had to do. Point A when he showed up on most Sundays. Same thing when he was at Wolves. If there's a box, this is what he exists inside a box. Some players are able to evolve outside a box in structure, some players are not. What we've brought in is players that we have assumed they would be able to exist outside of a structure, understanding that for some of these guys, they only need 3 or 4 responsibilities and that's it. That's what they can process. That's what they can work. The IQ is just not there. Part of it is youth, part of it is they just don't have it. And that's okay. The mistake that Pep and the club have done, misprofiling and assuming that some guys, because they have a floor, that their floor can be raised. No, some guys are who they are when they're 18 and they'll be that way until they're 29, 30, and whatever. Some guys are not who they are when they're 18 and they may not pop until they're 26. Johnny Reinders, Omar Marmoush. Why? Because they go to a structure and a system and they go through adversity and growth in time in their professional evolution that they become different players. And again, if you're a club and you're not you have a manager that is unwilling to bend his system and he has a structure that overloads players. And Mateus hit the nail on the horn. Bayern don't have better players. But what company has done with his system, one, it's consistent and guys understand what they need to do. What do they say? Be a star in your role. Understand what your role is within that structure and exceed and be a pro at it. Why do I have Semenyo playing the 10 when I know he's a winger? Why do I have John Stones playing the 6 or the 8 role when I know he's a center back? Why do you have midfielders playing fullbacks when you know very damn well what a fullback does? You can get away with it several times in a season. You can get away with it when you. One second, Mateus.
Do you know what happened? Yeah, Daniel.
But
Sorry.
let me finish Mateus
Wait
one
there.
thing.
Just let
Yeah,
me finish.
I'll
Just
let
let
you
me
go,
finish.
Hamza. This
You
is one
can get
thing. Yeah,
away with it, Mateus,
this
when
is a
you
common
have a
thing.
Rodri, a Kevin De Bruyne, an informed Holland. When you don't have that spine, you can't keep doing it. It catches up with you.
Bro, this is one thing, yeah, that we've been doing
True.
that for at least 3 years now, right? We buy a player, we ask that player to play in a complete different position, and then the fan base and the manager judge that player based on that position that they play. Nunes, in his first season, when he came on in his debut, he was playing as an 8, and we look at the player, we thought, right, oh, we've seen something in here, Yaya Toure-esque, carrying the ball, like driving with the ball. Right? Nunes had 8 starts in his first season. All them 8 starts he plays as a DM. Why? So enough. Then Pep Guardiola came out in the press conference and sat there. He's not smart enough to play midfield. He's playing DM. He's not a DM, right? Reinders, against everyone, but I think Nico Riley was not available. Reinder played as a 6. Reinder was cooking before Villa. He plays a 6 alongside John Stones. He got exposed. And everyone in that fan base made their mind up. Reinder's not good enough to play midfield. He wins not duels. Reinders wasn't winning any duels at AC Milan. If you look at them stats, he wasn't doing that. Why are we asking these players to do a job that they're not good at, and then we make a judgment whether they're playing good enough or not? Right? When Calvin Phillips was playing for England, Declan Rice was playing as a 6. Calvin Phillips was playing as a box to box. We went out there, we spent 50 million, we bought Calvin Phillips, and we asked him to be the backup for Roger, playing as a solid 6 in midfield. When we know, playing as a DM for Pep Guardiola demands a lot. Yet we went out there, we bought players that they don't fit in that position, and we asked them to do the job. When they cannot do the job, we start judging them. Nunes is not good enough to play midfield. Well, you've been playing him as a DM. Why? When was the last time Nunes has a consistent game in that 8th position, going up and down the pitch, carrying the ball? Never. Right? Marmoush, we don't know. Marmoush he's been here for a year. We don't know how to use Marmoush. Why?
He's the second striker.
Well,
and
do
Pep
we
has
play
never
with the
played
second
him as
striker?
one.
No, because if we did, we would have kept Alvarez, and we were playing 2 up front.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why we sold Alvarez is because we only play with 1 striker. So we decided to go out there and buy a second striker, even though we don't play with a second striker. Semenyo, inside forward. We asking him to play as a 10. We ask him to play as a winger. Semenyo, by the way, he's lazy. He's lazy.
He's not Man City standard, but he's the best you could get out there. Now you have to shop a bloody Audi because you haven't got. You are arrogant enough.
We've got Cherky,
arrogant enough to think that this manager is the one who's
Cherky, right? We've got Cherky. Yeah, he had a brilliant game. I think it was against Sunderland. The manager came out in the press conference and completely ripped him off. I don't like it when he does these things. Keep it simple. This is his football. Let him express himself. We watch football because it's an entertainment. We enjoy watching ballers. Why are you telling Cherk in the press? Why are you calling him off in the press conference? Calling him out in the press conference, say, don't do that. Why?
Especially when he's getting goals and assists. He's like 20 G&A already, and that's missing 2 months.
Do you know why?
Why would you want to discourage that?
He wants to control certain players.
He wants
play the way he wants.
Pep's got narcissistic traits where it's about me. I've always said it. When you're a winner, they have this. They have to believe that they're ones.
Kevin De Bruyne.
So much, but guess what?
Kevin De Bruyne never listened to Pep. There was one. Kevin De Bruyne used to argue with Pep all the time, but Pep would never put him on the bench. Kevin De Bruyne was winning football matches for him.
But this is the problem. The problem is, Matthias, let me just say something. Alan's
now
right.
People just bench him.
Alan is right, and I've always said this quality of players we have, they're not that great. Wake up, man. They're not great. I'm telling you now. Some of them are garbage.
Who?
Garbage. I told you. But
it's just another excuse. It's another excuse from Hamza and friends to put it on the players to be Pep Protection Society. That's all it is. Pep Protection Society. The players are never good.
But
who are we going to get?
He has to die.
Everybody wants to say.
Alan's here for the
Vitinha. It's crazy. It's madness. We want to get Vitinha and Joe Neves now when we could have gotten them before. And guess what? If they were here, we would be saying the same thing. Joe Neves is too young and Vitinha is not good enough. Vitinha was at Wolves and we didn't get him. Stop telling lies.
Okay, let me say
The
something.
fact is, Pep is finished.
Okay.
Pep Guardiola, Lord and Savior Pep, is no longer the manager that he was, and that is fine. It is time to move on. Stop telling lies on the players. We want what? 25, a squad of 25 world class players to be
Some of them are useless.
a PE teacher at Chelsea. It is rubbish, and this narrative needs to stop. It is utter rubbish. If Vincent Company or somebody else comes and put a platform for these players, a proper structure instead of this hipster bullshit where we put in square pegs in round holes and expect them to do miracles. We just get something out of this team. This is madness.
Can I just say something here?
Is Pep's
Hang
problem?
on. How good is that West Indian accent? It's brilliant, isn't it? It really is. I love the West Indian accent. It is fucking brilliant.
Listen,
Love it.
you know what? One thing I was gonna say. Do you think Pep can improve a player who cannot take on Felan Mendy, who's bloody 30 or 32 years old? I have not seen this guy for the last 2 years as a left back. He's such a bad player.
Why
He's
is he
no,
starting?
what?
No. Why
Let
is
us ask a better question. Let us ask a better question. Why is it that we have Savio? Why do we have Savio and Doku or any winger for that matter not getting an overlap or underlap from a fullback when they are facing 1v3, 1v2 all the time? What is the point of them? So whether it be Furlan Mendy, Furlan Sendy, or whoever it is, the wingers are not getting a consistent platform to do what they have to do. It is just as simple as that. We're cursing Haaland now. Haaland is not going to do anything until Pep leaves because he's fed up. It's simple as that. The man is fed up. He has made run after run after run after run. The ball keeps going sideways, backward. Yes, I know. He's just giving up. He has given up.
Let me go. What the thing is?
Let Hamza go.
This boy Savio is nowhere City standard. He's one of the worst. I can name you 10 City wingers who have been better than this guy.
I've got a question for you, Hamza.
No, one second. He doesn't know a winger that does not know how to shoot. He dribbles, can't get past a player. He struggled against Fenderman. Doku had 3 players on him. When
Hamza, it's our fault because we go and let fucking Cole Palmer go and bring in Doku and get Savio. Cole Palmer is 5 times better player than all of those put together.
Alan, do you know the funny thing is? Right? Do you know the funny thing is? Right? Do you know what happened that summer? Yeah, we were on the verge to buy Olise in that summer for 50.
And I wanted Olise. I was telling you
wait there.
Olise.
Olise got injured. Yeah, in the preseason, we all of a sudden pull out that deal because we didn't know the extent of that injury. So we went to spend 40 million on Nunes, and we got Nunes off the line within a week.
No, he was available for 40 million.
No,
and
54. No,
PS1
54.
54. And he was homegrown.
No.
He was homegrown.
Yeah.
He grew up in Reading, played for Man City Academy, Chelsea Academy, played at Crystal Palace, proven English league, knew how the English league. We brought a guy who's never played the English league. We believed in this project of our City Football Group, where we can bring a random guy who had a one-season wonder, just like what's his name? Who's that? Blind. Daily Blind had a fantastic same season with the other midfielder that plays for Bayer Leverkusen. I forgot his name. I forgot the guy's name. He used to play for us. He played for Girona.
Alex Garcia.
Oh, he's another guy. Yeah. They had couple. There's another striker. Who's the other striker that had a good season?
Dybok.
No. The striker
won the treble.
Who's the striker for
Dybok. His name was Dybok or Dybok or something like that.
We won
the Ukrainian guy.
Dovobik.
Yeah, that guy. Dybok.
A couple of them had this fantastic season, and we were sold this dream when we kicked out the likes of Mahrez. And I said it.
Number 26.
Yeah, and they kicked out Mahrez, they kicked out all these guys, broke wingers who can't score goals. Doku's been here for 4 years. 1 year has been having stinker. He dribbles past players, but we don't have wingers who score goals.
Also,
we have wingers who can take on players and score goals. Let me tell you something.
Doko is also constantly injured.
Let me tell you. You know, winger.
He is.
You know,
constantly injured.
You know, Trossard, who's 32 years old. He brings more into a football game that Savio will ever bring. Trossard is
Madness.
But
More madness.
Hamza,
It is mad.
Hamza,
I'm just speaking madness. If Michael Olise, if Olise was at Manchester City now, he would not be putting up those numbers. You know why? Because the fullback would be standing, sitting in the lap of Roger and friends, and he would have to be facing 1v3. How many wingers in this world, outside of Messi, can face 1v3 consistently and get results?
Jamal's doing that
No,
too, just so you know.
Savio was
No.
best player, but guess what? Iago Aspas was the best player. He wasn't the best player in La
Hamza.
Liga. He was on Team of the Year. Iago
Hamza.
Aspas has made Team of the Year 4 times or 5 times. He was
Yes.
a Liverpool reject.
And
Don't even
Iago,
try that. Don't
and
try that game. Do
no,
not even try.
Hamza.
That
But
guy, end
Iago
of the season,
Aspas is on.
if Man City want to progress, he's one of the guys has to leave the football club
I
or loan him out. He's a
get
waste
that,
of space.
I get that, and I don't disagree.
And the other guy, Alan was saying, Phil Foden, he's 26 years old in May.
Hold on,
26
Hamza.
years old in May. Yeah,
Hamza.
we should be relying on one of the most senior players to be playing at this moment.
Hamza.
He's nowhere to be seen.
Iago
It's a
Aspas
disgrace.
is a journeyman, and sometimes that's what happens when you're a journeyman. You may have 1 good or 2 seasons. It has to be in a system, in a club where you have low expectations. Savio is not the worst winger we have signed. We have signed.
He's one of the worst I've ever seen.
Let me finish. We have signed worse wingers that have flopped, that have never come back. Jack Harrison had to sign. No. Jack Harrison was at NYCFC, had a good breakout season.
Yeah.
Then we signed him. He had how many moves since then?
But he was 18, 19.
That's my point.
The age we signed Savio.
But he's nothing. He's nothing special.
Wait, hold on. Scott Sinclair.
He's crap. That's the level. Savio's at that level.
There you go. Clubs will make that mistake. Okay. Patrick Roberts.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. He was supposed to be the next big thing at Man City.
Sometimes these things will happen when you're declining or when you have a period of decline. You will sign players that you will hope will be a stopgap to get you to the next point, and they just don't get to that level. Savio may be a good player in the future, but he may need to leave City, have adversity, and have a platform where the expectations are lower. Because remember, when he went to Girona, it was after the mid-level breakout that he had at PSV. But even on that PSV side, Xavi Simons was the better of the young players. So he had to go to Girona. And that Girona team, he wasn't there when they went through the adversity, when they're playing in the Spanish second division as they were trying to get promoted. He was not a part of that core. He was an addition to it. And again, right system, right players. He was the added sprinkle on top, and we assumed it was going to translate. It doesn't always translate. Not all players pop. Not all systems work. And this assumption that you can sign someone and have Pep Guardiola and you can make a young player. I've done my deep dives on this.
No, but
Jack,
the thing is,
one sec. Jack Grealish is another one. Pep Guardiola is an all-time great manager, the GOAT, in my opinion. Most players that he signs, especially offensively, he increases their floor of production on what they're able to do in terms of output. The goals go up, the assists go up, depending. Sometimes it's both, other times it's one or the other. But there are also players in that exact same system that they flatline. Their output does not go up. The GA stays exactly the same as it was in the other team that they were on. And it then have to add some context where we'll use Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish is a great player. But Jack Grealish is a great player in a system that gives him the freedom to express himself and where he doesn't have the added responsibility with a structure. Because now you're suppressing the creativity and you're asking him to do something that he may not be able to do consistently because he may not be that type of player. It's by no fault of his own, and it's also by a fault of his own. And that is what we've had. Midfielders that we've brought in, asking them to be Yaya, asking them to be Rodri, asking them to be Fernandinho. That's not who they are. Forwards being asked to score in the winger position when they've never been volume scorer. But, oh yeah, when we took the gamble, when we signed Leroy Sané, when he was at Schalke, that was a gamble. He was one of the highly rated German wingers at the time, but you saw flashes. The flashes that Sane did were not the same flashes that neither Doku or Savio has done.
Oh,
But you
Mufano
took
is exceptional, man. Schalke no
correct,
fear.
but you took a
Flying
gamble.
goals, scoring them at the age of 18, 19.
But you took a gamble and you assumed in your system,
good.
in your structure with the senior players, you can integrate them and you can replicate the magic. The magic has not been replicated. So now you have to deal with it.
Let's go.
That's what happens. Chiki went to France with an Amex and saw Dewey and Doku and came back with Doku. It happens. We have a midfielder right now that is having a stellar season in Serie A with Como, but Pep Guardiola, the board and the scouts said he was not good enough, and he's a Zubimendi type of player that we could use right now in terms of connecting and moving the play forward in Massimo Perrone. Why could we not evaluate? Because sometimes, like Matteo said, we do the evaluations and the profiles too quickly. We assume that the players need to hit now. And then you're playing a kid in a six role when he's not a six. He's more of a connecting eight. So if you're not going to play him in a connecting eight role and you play him in a six, don't expect six level responses. Don't
Well,
expect six level output. It's
let's
madness.
just rewind there. Let's rewind to in the Club World Cup when Pep Guardiola sat in a press conference and tried to convince the world and the fan base that Tijani Reinders can play as a six.
He's never been Matteo.
Because
we had this
when
discussion.
when you look back to them games, when Roger was coming off, he never ever in them 4 games we played, he subbed on Nico Gonzalez. Roger was coming off, he was playing either Foden or Bernardo, and then Tijani Reinders was going to the 6. His plan for this season was Roger number 1, Kovacic number 2. He never had the plan to play Nico Gonzalez.
It's ironic that you say that because I think we played our best ball with Nico G this season.
Why are we going out there on deadline day in January, spending £60 million on a defensive midfielder that the manager doesn't want?
Well, we needed it last
Get
season to
the
stop
man
bleeding.
out of the club. Get him out of the club. It's getting strange. Like what tales from the dark side. This is what's happening to Manchester City now. Tales from the dark side. Yeah, it is crazy, pure madness, absolute madness. And then you have the likes of Hamza coming to tell us, oh, he's not good. They want Neves. All of a sudden they want Neves now. Vitinha was at Wolves, we didn't want Vitinha. Oh, we need Vitinha now. Also, Mendes was there at left back, and we decided not to get him. We want Mendes now. If all of those players came with Pep Guardiola, we would have the same issues. If Olise was here, we would be having the same complaints with Olise because we're expecting him to do something. And you were saying about Yamin Lamal. Lamal always, if you watch Barcelona games, Lamal always has space created for him by fullback and his midfielder. And whosoever else is on the left side has the same
the thing is
support.
With Neves, we didn't buy Neves because he could not invert. At the time we were linked to Neves, we were playing invert in fullbacks.
Mendes, you mean? Mendes.
Yeah.
Mendes, not
Mendes.
yeah, Neves is a midfielder.
Can he invert?
Yeah, Mendes.
Bro, before the
Nuno
treble
Mendes,
from 2023 all the way to 2027, if you're a fullback that cannot invert, Pep Guardiola would never buy you.
We need a new voice, a common sense voice to use the players where they're supposed to be. Enough of this shuffling and mix and matching.
Walker was the exception because Walker was physical and he had speed. Any other they need to be able to invert.
No, man, Walker was already here. That's why he experimented.
Yeah,
Pep would have never signed him and said, "I'm going to invert you." He only did it because he was here already.
Because if you look at the profiles, Sergio Gomez, Angelino, Cancelo, Zinchenko, all of them can play left back, midfield, striker, wing, like tea lady, cleaners, chef in the kitchen if they need. They do everything.
Well, that's all
That's
Gomez
the profile
was doing.
he wants. Yeah, when he goes out there and buying player, he will never buy. If he will need a winger, he will never buy a winger, a
Hey,
simple winger.
Mateus, and none of them could defend.
Yeah.
He needs, bro. He needs
Oh, I
someone.
remember that red card
If
Gomez
if
got.
he
Oh,
wants a
jeez.
winger, can you play midfield? Can you play DM? Can you play fullback? Then you can play winger.
Nonsense. All of it nonsense. And you see, this is stemming from when Mendy was injured and he converted Delp into a left back, and it
Why
only
is
worked for a season and a half.
and HFL
Craziness.
on? So we went to Watford. Yeah, we went to Watford and we told them we need Max Delaney. We went to Middlesbrough and we said we need an Ipan. Where are them two?
Oh, they're both playing for the academy right now because we can't do anything.
I thought
Elaine played 2 games and then we'll never see him again.
Anyway,
Doesn't
right.
make
We need to close. We're gonna close now. West Ham. What do you guys think?
I predicted narrow win.
If they could,
Would you rotate the team or would you go strong?
you go strong. If you can phase up Mateus Fernandez and what's his name? That forward what's his name? The one you always told me about.
Jared Bowen.
Bowen. You can win the game. But if
Alfie
Mateus
loves Bowen and Wan-Bissaka.
if Mateus Fernandez has a free for if he
90s
outplays
sunglasses.
our midfield, we will lose because the way he's playing, he's better than all our midfielders. Which is
So
a problem.
who would you start in midfield then?
I would start Rodri with O'Reilly, or I would start Nico G with
Rangers?
Tejani. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you need goals.
You don't even know who to start.
Yeah, you can't. I can't depend on Holland right now, and I'll tell you
Play
this.
Marmouche then.
Play Marmouche, and you better play Turkey, or throw
The
Foden
thing with Haaland is that the manager's got his hand tied because at the end of the day, when you give a player over £500,000 a week and he's your superstar, he's the one who sells a lot of money, then he has to play whenever he's available because at the end of the day, he makes more money on the pitch than on the sideline, and probably the club gets a bit of the gets
cut
Mateus, we are
when
afraid
he's on
to
the
bench him. We are afraid to bench him because of his feelings. And one of the Barcelona fans actually told me this in the space that I was
But
in.
don't get me wrong, Haaland has been rubbish.
Pep Guardiola got rid of Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Samuel Eto'o for less than what Haaland is doing right now.
No. That's
Samuel
there's a difference.
Eto'o.
It's
No.
a difference. Who was the cash cow in Barcelona when Pep was there?
Messi.
Messi.
Now,
Do you know
I'm
what I
just
mean?
going to stay though on Haaland because, yeah, Haaland shit, and I can do this for every player. Because we criticize Bernardo Silva, we criticize Rodri, we criticize Diaz. I still think Diaz, by the way, is our best centre back, even though everything people say. But when you set up players to fail, they will fail. You can set up Lionel Messi to fail, and he's the only one of every player I've ever seen that won't fail if you set him up to fail. Every other player I've ever seen, when you set them up to fail, they fail. Erling Haaland in the 11 games where he's got 1 non-penalty goal is our top assister, top GA provider, and top through ball provider. That is not right. That is simply not right. You can swap that with Marmouche. Sure, we did against Leeds. He was fucking awful.
Yeah,
the moment that things got better, it's not when the striker changed.
Alfie,
it's when midfield changed.
It's all well and good doing that August, September, October, November, December. But now this is the time. This is crunch time. We need to start winning games to lift silverware. That's when
We're not
you
lifting
need
silverware
your
if
biggest
you're
players
not getting the
turn up.
best out of Haaland.
Bro, Kevin De Bruyne used to be dog shit first half of the season, in most of the season. Second half the season, no. I'm the big man.
So Haaland factually has the second best game state GA ever in a Premier League title race.
No, you don't get it.
No, I
Second
do
half
get
of
it.
the
You don't
season,
get it.
right.
Second half of
This
the
is the
season.
time we need him. Not November. This is
No.
the time we need
I
him.
said he has the best game state in a title race. Second best game state GA in a title race ever, which is the 23-20.
Right.
Yeah, 23-24 season.
How many goals has he scored in this calendar year?
But how many goals has Marmoush scored? You set him up to fail. He's going to fail.
No. Alfie, Haaland, Marmoush is not Haaland. Marmoush is not the one earning over £500,000 a week.
Yeah, how much you earn is not going to win you trophies either.
No. When you earn more money than the entire squad, the expectation that is from you is different.
So you're going to bench? No, Matthijs. You're going to bench someone.
Alfie, on your job, yeah. If you're the highest player, if you're the highest paid employee, yeah, everyone in your group is expecting more from you. You cannot sat there and say, "Oh well, that guy is not doing either." Hold on a minute. You earning twice as much as him. Why are you questioning him?
Well,
Matthias, I'm not going to agree with you there because my thing is simple.
No, that's something entirely different because now you're just talking about players to players interaction. We're not players. We're not interacting with other players as players. That's just not the same thing at all. So you're saying expectations. Okay, so you bench Haaland because he's under his expectations, but he's still our top GA provider in those 11 games in the Premier League in 2026.
So if Haaland doesn't score until the end of the season, he'll probably finish our top goal scorer. Yeah?
No, I'm sorry. No, you don't listen.
Wait
you
there,
don't
wait
listen.
there.
And the 11. Matthijs. And the 11 games. No, you're talking about he's not going to score.
No.
And the 11 games.
Alfie, listen. If Haaland doesn't score from this moment forward and up until the end of the season, we win nothing. Would you sat there and say, "Oh, he's our top goal scorer. He's done his job"?
But that's not what I said. And the 11 games this year in the Premier League. Yes, 11 games this year, 2026. Premier League, I mean. Is our top
10.
GA provider.
No, Premier League 10.
Yeah, the Forest game is included in that. My apologies.
Premier League 10, 4 cup games, and 1 Champions League.
No, yeah, I included the Forest game. I included the Forest game because that's Haaland's run of not scoring. He's still our top GA provider. He's our top assister. He's our top through pass. No, you wave your hands. He should not be that. This is a broken... You want to bench Haaland.
What do you mean he should not be there? He's earning £500,000.
Not your sister.
No, he's earning £500,000 a week. So in a month... No, Alfie. So, Alfie, every month he's earning over 2 million British pounds. That's nearly 3 million euros in a month. And you're telling me, "Oh, I'm not expecting that from him." Are you fucking insane?
No, I'm not expecting him to be the fucking 10. I'm expecting him to be not the 9, but we're not creating anything.
Yeah, he's kind of forced to do that because, again, we're playing the wrong midfield. People keep crying about, "Oh, this is such a balanced midfield." It's not. Our attack has gone to shit since we switched.
Have you checked these stats, Alfie?
It's because Turkey's on the bench.
Yeah, that's just not true stats.
What do you mean?
Haaland's played almost every game this season. How can you have one more games without Haaland when he's played almost every game?
Yeah,
how many assists does he have?
7.
Whoa.
No, total. Not just in league, total.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's around
Haaland?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
look it up.
Haaland's
I'll pull
7.
up transfer market.
It's 7. He's got 7 league assists.
And I think total it's like 9. Of those 9, 5 of them came last year. The other 4 have come in this calendar year in 3
You know,
months.
our second top assister is Cherky with 3.
And he missed a month.
Oh, Alan's back.
He doesn't play every game starting. It's
Yeah, but that's part of the problem. Who's got Haaland to play with? What's going to change when you play? No. What's going to play when you? What's going to change when you play Marmoush? We played Marmoush.
I agree with everything I agree with everything you said, Alfie. The problem is in the world of sports or life, big checks, big expectations. Shoulda, coulda, woulda in the excuses.
Yes.
Big checks, big expectations. Either step up or get what comes with
So
not stepping up.
what did we do? What did we do when Aguero took a red card against Chelsea, started 10 games, and then scored once?
I like Haaland, and I like him as a player. However, at this right moment in time, especially in this calendar year, he's not doing it.
Oh yeah, nobody's
We're not creating chances. That's why our attack.
No.
I have statistics to prove that our attack is way down. This is 2026 started.
Doku put 2 good crosses in there where he should have been at the end of one of them. Against Brighton, when we drew 1-1, yeah, Brighton player literally gave us the ball on their own box. Haaland couldn't score.
Because by the time he got the ball, there was a centre back on his fucking right. The goalkeeper was in front of him, and another centre back was on the line.
No. Against Sunderland, Haaland had a free header 5 yards out.
Well, that answers your own question right there. Haaland didn't score headers.
No, brother. We gave him a 10-year contract. His contract goes up 5% every season. He's now earning
Who else is scoring goals, though?
$550K a week.
Well, we discussed this earlier. Let me say, Haaland is a goal scorer. He's not a footballer. Now do you understand?
Yeah. So and then we're playing a system that's not creating chances for him. So that's why he's not scoring goals right now.
We've got 2 wide players playing on the pitch every week, right? Who are not. There's no end result. They've scored 1 goal each. Shit. That's shit.
What does this
Absolutely
mean?
shit. Absolutely shit. 1 goal each is not acceptable. The first thing I'd do in the summer, we can't do anything now. First thing in the summer is I'd get rid of Doku and I'd get rid of Savio immediately.
I agree with you on getting rid of Doku. All we have to do is go back to playing how we were in November and December when we were playing free-flowing football. Transition and Turkey and Foden were cooking. Haaland was cooking. Doku was cooking. The whole team was cooking. We were winning games. We were keeping clean sheets. We got to go back to that way, and we're not gonna create a lot of chances for Haaland. And Turkey's on the bench. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Kelster, if Pep decides he wants to leave at the end of the season because of his personal circumstances, and we all know what that is, right? If he decides, who would you go for?
That's what it was.
Who would you go for?
I would go for if Pep decides to go, I would go for a manager who is more of a transition manager, because most of our recruitment the past couple windows has been transition players. Transition suits Marmoush, it suits Haaland, it suits Foden, it suits Kovacic, it suits Doku and Savinho, it suits maybe not Tajani as much, but Tajani does like to run. I think it suits Turkey.
You still not answering the question.
It suits Husanov, and it suits Nico Gonzalez, because clearly he was the one who did it.
You need a name. He's asking for the name.
I don't know. I don't study managers enough.
But the thing is,
someone suggested Simon Inzaghi. I don't watch him enough. I can't say, but that was the name someone suggested to me, who watches more football than I do. But I'm not vouching him as my pick.
Galster, I'll tell you now. Who's bought a house in Under the Edge in the last 3 weeks? 3 weeks ago.
I don't know who.
Enzo
Maresca. Oh.
He's bought a house.
Maresca.
Wow. We got public record on that. Where did he buy a house?
That's a fact.
Where did he buy the house?
Yeah, Alderley Edge, Cheshire.
In Cheshire. Ooh, I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look it up because that's public record.
Alderley Edge is footballer's belt. It's footballer's belt.
That's basically right. So any footballers that play for Liverpool and Manchester clubs, they live around Cheshire. So that's probably like that's their area and all that. But the thing is, yeah,
I know that for a fact.
I don't want Maresca. And the reason why, I think
the club know him. The club know him very well.
No. The problem is Maresca is like Pep. He overthinks a lot. He's playing. He literally was playing his best right back as a DM. I don't want that. But the thing is, right?
To be fair, James has been really good.
The thing is,
James is world class.
Hang on, Neil. I don't want to get rid of Pep, but if Pep decision if he wants to leave because of his personal circumstances, then we have to go and get somebody else. That's a fact. I don't want Pep to go, but he might go of his own accord.
It's because the people on Twitter are bullying Pep. That's what it is.
Do you buy into this narrative that if Pep goes, all of a sudden we're becoming this crap team? We're gonna finish
we
mid-table.
have too good of a squad for that.
Because online there's been this narrative that I don't want Pep to go because if he goes, we're gonna end up being a mid-table team. 1 second, we've got the resources, we've got the facility, we've got the infrastructure around the club, we've got the money that we can literally buy any player, right? Do you genuinely believe that if a new manager comes in, we're becoming a mid-table team?
It's going to happen one day, though, isn't it?
I think we have too good of players to automatically become a mid-table team. I think it just might revert back to what it was before Pep was here, which was still, top four. It was winning titles and trophies, maybe not every season, but you were in the mix you were always in the mix for the title. You were winning cups. You were qualifying for Champions League. You were making deep run, quarterfinal, semifinal. Like,
last season.
That's not the end of the world.
Right? See, last season when we went to when we went to January transfer window and we spent the money that we spent, people assumed that, we only done that because of Pep. We didn't do that because of Pep. We done that because the club knew that we need to be in the Champions League spot, first and foremost. And the second is we had that 10 million, was it 100 million with 1 billion deal, £1 billion deal with, was it Nike? What's the sponsor we got now? It's Nike or Adidas?
It's Puma.
Puma, whatever. Yeah, Puma. So they knew, right, in order to get the Puma deal, the Viagogo deal, right, striked off, we need to be in the Champions League. That's why the club went out there, right? We need to buy players in January to make sure we're in the Champions League. Doesn't matter who the manager is. They get the manager in now. Yeah, let's not believe the club wouldn't accept finish outside the Champions League spot. They will do everything they can to make sure we're in the Champions League. So this narrative that if Pep goes, we're going to be finishing 12th, we're not winning any trophy, yeah, get that in the bin, yeah, take your emotions out of it, because I'm telling you right now, we are now in a position that we can buy any manager off the contract if we want to. This company is earning €6 million a year at Bayern Munich. Pep Guardiola is in £20 million a year. Enrique is on €80 million a year. We can literally go on them two managers if we want to offer them £12 million a year and buy them off their contract. That's the club that we have. People, you need to get that into your mind. We're not that club anymore. Records of revenue every fucking year. We announce it. Season ticket going up every year. Season ticket, by the way, yeah, they're gonna start announcing end of March, beginning of April, and the price is gonna go up. End of April, the North Stand is gonna reopen
For corporate.
Do you know what I mean?
For corporate.
It's,
for the hotel.
Whether it's for corporate or not, they will start reopening that stand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you.
Money's always flowing.
I understand what you're saying, but if we finish, for argument's sake, next season, let's say we have a new manager. For argument's sake, I'm not saying this will. We get a manager. We finish 7th or 8th. Will we lose 10% of our supporter base? Probably, yeah, because of the flip flopping going on. So I've been a fan since 1971. I was at Main Road. So that's a long, long time ago. So I've been through the dark days, the shit, and went home and away watching the Blues. So you've got to be able to stick with the side even when they're not doing well.
I'm not going anywhere. I'll just say that. I'll still be doing watch-alongs on here and overreacting because
exactly.
That's what you do.
Exactly.
Who are you in the stadium? Who are you in the stadium for the Dennis Suarez goal?
I'm gonna have to go because my mother's going in hospital, so I'm gonna go down and see her. So
wait, Alfie, ask your question to Alan real quick again. He wanted to know if you went to a certain game.
Yeah, were you in the stadium for the 1976 final for the Suarez goal?
1976 against Newcastle.
Yeah, Dennis Suarez goal.
Dennis Stewart. Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a goal.
I went in 1974 against Wolves when we got beat 2-1, dominated the game and lost 2-1. I was there for that as well. I was only a little kid. I was sat next to my dad. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
And I was there in 1975 when Dennis Law backheeled it and United went down and got relegated. I was actually sat next to a relation who was a United fan. I was a little kid going like this and jumping up and down when you're going down. Best day ever to see them bastards go down.
Right, yeah. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to witness that. To be there in the stadium and to see that goal live. Oh, that would have been a treat. I wasn't alive yet though, so unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
and I also have to go. So yeah.
No, I'll get going.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. Best of luck to your mom, Alan. Sounds like she's having surgery or something. So best of luck. We wish her. We hope everything's successful. And we'll say goodnight to our shark Alfie.
My shark is in bed already.
Oh, yeah. Alfie's gonna go.
Anyway, we're gonna close
it
down now. Yeah. Big up everyone that tuned in. It's nearly 200 people on live at one point, but hopefully we can carry on doing this every Friday, just depending on everyone's availability, to be fair. But yeah, it was a nice
She's
chat.
always here working, so yeah, we're fine.
Yeah. It's West Ham tomorrow. Hopefully we can get the win. Well, we have to be fair. If we don't, then sack everyone, get rid of everyone, including the kit man. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway,
I'll just say before we hit end stream, we are going to be doing a watch along tomorrow. I will be there. I'm pretty sure Steve will be there too. He just helps me a lot because like I have to start work in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, make sure you tune in on the watch along.
Spartacus usually joins us, but yeah, everybody. I want to thank everyone on the panel, and we want to thank everyone in the chat for tuning in. I know we disagree on stuff, and we all have different viewpoints, but
it is what it is.
I think we're all pretty civil about it. So
yeah. I'm not gonna call you a flip flop or a pussy.
Pep out.
There you go. Pep out. Let's get it going.
Pep out. Stream out. Good night, everyone.
I'm taking a break. You are not going to see me here for a long time, but I will be around.